Hey everybody, I'm Graz from the GKBC. Obviously, you clicked on the channel. I'm here in the parking lot again, waiting for the Dot in her class. Thought you'd like to look at a slightly moving tree as the leaves and whatever it is kind of grows brown for the upcoming season. Show you heaven for a second. It's beautiful. That's heaven. Of course, this is also heaven right here. You just have to be able to see it and hear it and feel it. As Lou Reed once said, "It's such a perfect day." And aren't they all? Even the bad ones. Now today is the 5th of November, I believe. And we should always remember the 5th of November. Last year I tried to do the V for Vendetta speech and it got deleted. So, anyway, I'm here to do a wrap up for October. So settle in, because I actually read quite a bit. I'm going to start from the... Sorry, I'm yawning. Not that anybody cares, but I did not sleep well. Family drama, problems. Isn't that pretty down there where the leaves are moving? Did you ever take the time to just watch? I mean, the movement of the plants and the leaves and the branches in the wind seems random, but there's a geometry to it. It's actually really fascinating. Anyway, sorry. Family drama. Big arguments. It'll work its way out, but right now it's awful. And it's triggering my goblins to be evil. So I thought I'd come and whine on a video before I read my paper of my books that I read in October. Anyway, I'm going to go from the lowest rated to the highest rated so that we end on a high note. I always try to do that. So I'm going to start with my 2 DNFs, which stands for did not finish. So there was Terra Nostra by Carlos Fuentes. This is from 1975. I read 5.7% of it. It was a 785-page book. And I was just so bored. I mean, I wasn't interested in it at all. The title made me think it might be science fiction, and it's absolutely not. Honestly, and I started it at the beginning of October, and this is, like I said, the 5th of November, and I don't remember much about the book, other than that it was like Catholicism, and it was just so, not that Catholicism is boring, but the way it was presented in this book was. So I only got 5.7% of the way through that book. Then there was The Professor by Charlotte Bronte, and I actually made it 19.8% through that. I quit that because if you're going to write an English novel, write an English novel. If you want to show off how much French you know, then write a French novel. Don't mix them and expect people to know both languages, because I mean, there were just huge paragraphs of French, and I don't know French, and I don't want to be flipping to the back of the book and taking myself out of the story, which, by the way, also was very boring, to figure out what you're trying to tell me in French. Just say it. You know, if you want us to know that it's in French, then write it in stinking italics. Seriously. Anyway, that's my DNFs. Then I had one nonfiction book. I always, if it's like an autobiography type thing, most nonfiction books, I'll just rate 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10. Because, how do you grade somebody's life? You know? How do you rank the things that they did? So the nonfiction book that I read was The Only Living Witness by Michaud and Ainsworth. It was about Ted Bundy. So now we're going to get into the fiction books that I read. Like I said, lowest rated to highest rated. I'll just tell you a minor thing about each book. And then if you want to know more, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to do videos. I don't think I do enough reviews here, so if anybody wants a review, just let me know. So number 1. Oh, if you count the DNFs, I read 18 books in October for like 6,400 pages, something like that. I don't have the exact number. I probably should have written it down. But if you don't count the DNFs, then I finished 16 books. Okay, first up, In the Beginning by Chaim Potok, another 1975 book. It was basically about the life of one young Jewish boy trying to acclimate in America and dealing with the prejudices that holds within it. Just not for me. That story can probably be told better. It was just dry and long and slogging and slow. And I gave it a 4.34 out of 10. Just remember, my ratings are out of 10. I give decimal points, and that gives me more freedom than just 1 through 5. Okay, then there was Stranger in the House by Patricia McDonald, and this was a book for my Spooky Scary Skeleton 2024 Halloween Readathon that I was a co-host for, hosted by Nicole at Nicole's Bookish Nook. And this was the prompt for black on the cover, and it's got a 6.93 out of 10. It was basically I think it was supposed to be a thriller. It was just okay. Then there was Norstrilia by Cordwainer Smith from 1975. This is a science fiction book about like New Australia, Norstrilia, and the boy who bought the world. And it was interesting enough. I don't know if I'll finish the series. This seemed enough. And that got 7.30 out of 10. And then there was Montague's Carnival of Delights and Terror by Jamie Stewart. And this was basically a bunch of vampires who were traveling around as part of a carnival. And I don't remember right now why it's rated so low, but I mean, it's a 3.6, almost 3.7, so I guess that's not too low. But 7.39 out of 10. And there's The Warrior's Path by Louis L'Amour. 7.41 out of 10. This is just one of the books in the Sackett series that I'm not really feeling. I'll finish it. I mean, if you know me from the Reading List Project, Graz don't quit. I mean, yeah, I have some DNFs. I mean, why waste my time with a crappy book? But if I've signed on to a series or a readathon or something, then I'm doing it. Okay, that was a 7.41 out of 10. Then there's Silent Prey by John Sanford. I think it's either book 4 or 5 in the Lucas Davenport Prey series. The only reason this one's down here is because it took the best thing of the books, the setting in Minnesota, and put it in New York, which I'm so bored with New York books. It got a 7.62 out of 10. Then we have Wrath by Chris Philbrook. This is one of the books in the Adrian's Undead Diary series. I love these. I'm currently about to start, I think, book 7, The Trinity. And this was a 7.96 out of 10. And the only reason that it was rated a little bit low is because it kind of... And I realize it's part of a series, so why would you pick it up on its own? But one of my categories is world building, and this one kind of was a little bit low on that. It's not a knock on the author. He's telling a larger story, but that's just one of my ratings. Then we have Witch in the Woods. Oh, wait. Let me see. Sorry, let me go back here. Stranger in the House. Warrior's Path. Grass. Okay. Then we have Witch in the Woods by Taylor Ann Bunker. This was another prompt for the readathon that I was in. This was a book about a witch. 8.10 out of 10. Then there was Jubal Sackett by Louis L'Amour. Another Sackett book. Actually a decent one. 8.10 out of 10. I mean, there's a few things that kind of dragged it down for me. Like, seriously, who can tame a buffalo to not eat the corn? Give me a break. Then we got Moonbog by Rick Hatala. This is a paperback from hell. Maybe I'll get a picture of the cover and make it the thumbnail. Maybe, if I remember. But this was also part of the readathon. This was a classic horror, which is older than 30 years because it's from the 80s. 8.16 out of 10. It's basically kids are disappearing by a bog, and is it a monster, is it a person, or is it the bog? Then we have Proof Positive by Philip Margolin. This was also for the readathon. This was a thriller by an author you'd never heard of. So it's a thriller, and it was really good. I'm actually going to continue with this guy. 8.27 out of 10. The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. This was a book set on Halloween. I know I had picked something else for that, but things change. But yeah, the Halloween Tree. It's just trick-or-treaters trying to survive and go through the history of Halloween and time and stuff. It's pretty neat. 8.36 out of 10. And we've got In the Arms of Family by Chris Philbrook, another one of the Adrian's Undead series. 8.57 out of 10. I loved this one. I loved it. I don't want to give away any spoilers, though. So maybe I will if I do a ups and downs, or downs and ups. I might actually do a downs and ups for the entire series when I'm done. It'll be a little bit longer one. Maybe I'll do 10. I don't know. If you want to hear that, let me know. And all those zombie books that I just mentioned, like the Adrian's Undead Diary books and stuff, I'm gonna make them work for ghosts or ghouls for the readathon. Then we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, which was for the readathon. It had orange on the cover. And that was an 8.69 out of 10. And it's just two siblings. Their parents die, and they have to get together and try to learn how to sell the house, which ends up being very, very haunted. Oh, let me back up a little bit. The Only Living Witness about Ted Bundy was a fiction or nonfiction book about a serial killer. That was for the readathon. And then the last book that I read in October was the biggest, but it was also the easiest. It's The Walking Dead Compendium #1 by Image Comics, and I wrote down Kirkman. I can't remember if it's Robert Kirkman. I think it is. It's basically the graphic novel of The Walking Dead, but it's the Compendium Volume 1. There's 4 of them. This one has like the first 8 graphic novels in it. And I mean, if you don't know, you have to know what The Walking Dead is. It's people surviving during the outbreak. It's more about the survivors than the zombies. 8.82 out of 10, which actually made it the top 2 books that are made it into my top 10 of the year. Not going to tell you where, because I didn't write it down. I don't remember. But that's my update, my wrap up for October. Let me know if you want me to do a review on any of these, or downs and ups. I can do either one. If you've read them, all of that good jazz, let me know. I love to talk in the comments. I do answer every comment. And, I also answer everything that you say in the comments. So don't think that any thought will go unanswered. I just wanted to show you this tree over this bus, this red tree. Well, there's 3 of them. It's not coming across in the video, but they're moving really pretty. Anyway, that's my update. Sorry it got a little bit long. I wanted to, give a little snippet on each book. And in probably in a day or two, I will do a TBR for November. And also coming up, I felt really good about the fundraiser that I did. So I'm going to I'm gonna do another one. I actually might do 2 this month. Because I mean, you know, it's not like I'm asking anybody to donate. It's just me going on my likes and views. So there you go. So yeah, there will be another one of those. Probably I might mention it tomorrow or the next day. But anyway, that was the wrap up for October. October. Is there a more German, fun-sounding month than October? I know there's Oktoberfest, but still. But I'll see all of you down the road reading more. And get out and vote.